Hello, Maria.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing well, enjoying my day so far.
That's nice. That's nice. All right. So today we're going to talk about importance of higher education. For those who haven't followed our first video, this is Real Talk with AWC Advisors, and we are on segment 2. Like you said, we're going to talk about the importance of higher education and success in college. Right, Maria?
Yes, it's exciting to talk about higher education, especially in this time that a lot of people do not have the opportunity to be working. So this is the perfect time to come to college and get enrolled. And many individuals don't see the value immediately of getting a college degree because they already have a job, but there is many good aspects on getting a degree.
Correct. Yeah, we've talked about how culturally too. If you're talking about the Hispanic community, especially in my case, I mean, I can speak for my case. I know in my family we value hard work, and for some of us it's like, hey, you got to go to work. You're done with school. You're done with high school. Let's get to work right away. And like you say, sometimes it's a good idea. It's good timing right now to, of course, go to school. But we always have to value higher education and say, hey, we're out of high school, is there anything else that I could do in higher ed to help to boost my opportunities in the future? So I
Yeah.
agree.
And something that I see in the community is that we have a lot of opportunities to work in agriculture.
Yeah.
And when we are just finishing high school, our body is young, we have energy, we
Yeah.
can sleep just a few hours and then you're ready to work. But it's important to look at the long term. Like if you are a little older, you may have to sleep more. You would if you give yourself an opportunity to come to Arizona Western College or just pursue a higher education, you would have the benefit of personal transformation. You know, higher education transforms your life. And
Yes.
also you as an individual, you see the value of going to college because you start understanding different areas in your life. Your time management skills are going to develop. You're going to solve situations differently, and just looking at our own experience. I mean, imagine if you didn't have a college degree, but now that you have a college degree, what benefits do you experience, Omar?
Well, for me, that's a great question. For me, I would say definitely my lifestyle is one that I'm happy with. We did mention before pursuing your passion. Education gives you that ability to pursue your passion, and to me, in my case, it has. To answer your question, I'm able
Yes.
to spend time with my family. Have a good health benefits package. In case it's needed, and I like it. Definitely education has set me up in ways that I couldn't even imagine. Years ago. How about in your case?
In my case, I also I when I was in college, I wanted to do teaching, but and then I realized that it was too easy for me. It was not what I wanted because it was you were told what to do. So I decided to go for business and challenging myself. But at the end, I am here at AWC and I love what I do. For me, being an advisor is not a job, it's a mission because I really enjoy it. I don't feel that I am coming to work because I'm influencing people, I'm helping people. And just having that job satisfaction of being happy where I'm working, what I'm doing, and with the people that I'm working with, um, it's it makes me it makes my life more enjoyable. And at the same time, having the opportunity to get high quality benefits like the health insurance, I'm able to provide insurance for Alexander, my almost 2 years old, and also the ability to have the benefit of retirement. So I already know that I'm put in some money when I get older, I may use it right. So that's a benefit, and only a few jobs actually have that benefit. And just understanding what type of benefits are you looking for in the job that you want to
Right.
acquire. I think that that's a very important point that we want to make, especially when our healthcare system in the USA is so expensive and
Yeah.
very limited in what you can have. And at the same time, financial stability. I don't make a lot of money, but thanks God I'm not suffering. You know, I'm not suffering of not having money, but just the ability to understand that that as an individual you transform yourself. I'm not the
Right.
same Maria when I started college. I'm totally different.
Yeah,
And
of
I'm
course.
so grateful for that because it requires a lot of commitment,
Yeah.
discipline, and also like having the opportunity to move to a different career or to a different job if I like, because I
Yeah.
do have the master's degree, so it makes it easier to move to a different
It always helps, right?
yes,
Yeah.
college helps.
One thing we talked about in our first interview, first segment, I mean, is
Yeah.
how our parents supported us. Of course, you
Yes.
talked about your parents and how thankful you were, and same thing I did. I spoke about my mother in that case and how supportive she was of me continuing on education. Right. We also did mention the fact that both your parents and mine weren't really that well versed
Yeah.
in how higher education works in the U.S. because well, they hadn't really experienced that themselves. Being first generation, it was definitely a struggle to get to know the system. And another one of the many benefits of higher education is the fact that we can now transmit that mentality, that culture to our kids. You have baby
Exactly.
Alexander, Smad, Kayla on my end. I know I'm gonna be on top of them, and I know I'm gonna be like, hey guys, I want you guys to go to college. That's gonna be my preference, of course.
Yeah.
They might do whatever they want, of course, but
Exactly.
I'm always going to push and strive to get them into that train of thought where they're saying, hey, after high school, what college am I going to? Because I've seen the benefits applied, of course, in my own experience, and
Mhm.
I've seen them, in many cases where we see students here.
Yes.
We've seen students here in our office, and 5, 6 years later, they come back and they, hey, I'm working here, I'm working there. This was great. Thank you for all that you did and your guidance, and that's just very rewarding.
Yes, actually, when you were mentioning that, I'm the advisor for the Aurora Club, and one of the students now, she's the social worker in one of the housing communities here in the
Oh,
area.
nice.
And also another student, he's a border patrol agent. So you see people already like working, and also like when we think about our own experience, you are building a lot of network.
Correct.
Network allows you to get letters of recommendation, reference. Like I do talk to employers because I'm a reference for the students. So when they are
Right.
hiring, I can serve as a reference, and I probably you also do, and letters of recommendation. So in my experience, networking helps you a lot. I was also, because of that network I built through AWC, I was able to get a position as a tutor. Then later on, I was able to start working here as a full-time with experience and exposure to different fields.
Correct.
So, and networking allows you to, like I mentioned, like letters, have letters of recommendation, letters of reference. Even though if you're not applying for a job yet, you can ask for a letter of reference. So if once in the future you need it, then you already have it. And in my case, I mean, my advisor helped me a lot. I had Mr. Trujillo first, and I have Marco Diaz later. Then I at the university, I don't recall my advisor's name. Oops.
There.
But I mean, in college, I remember them. They were very helpful, and you need to make the relationship with your advisor. So how was your networking experience, Omar?
It was great. I mean, I worked in every college I went to. I did transfer a few times from AWC and a couple schools in California, and I worked at each school I was in as a work study, and that helped a lot. Of course, I made good relationships with my instructors. The nice thing about AWC is that you get to meet your instructors. Sometimes when you go to a big university, you don't get to meet them as much, and that was the case in California when I transferred to a bigger school, state school that I would go into a classroom of 300 students, and it's really hard to actually meet the instructor. So that was one of the benefits, of course, of AWC. You got to meet the instructors, a lot of the staff as well, and then working, of course, gave me that upper hand. So I agree, networking is key. At any stage in your life, I think networking is key. Another thing we talked about the fact that education maybe gives you the opportunity of pursuing your passion. Sometimes it gives you the opportunity to find your passion.
That's
And,
true.
sometimes it does because it's not an easy decision to make. What are you going to do for the rest of your life? What type of job are you looking to take on? And sometimes coming to college, networking, talking to other students, guidance counselors, career services, for example, which we have at AWC, where we can help you through a process of, surveying and other, procedures to find your niche, to find your passion. And that's always a benefit too, a big one.
Yeah, and there is research that shows that people who have a college degree are happier and healthier. And why is that? Because again, having a college degree allows you to have the job that gives you the happiness, the enjoyment of doing it,
Yeah.
then the security too, then you have less stress, then you feel
Correct.
happier. And at the same time, the flexibility of being able to start saving for the future,
Yep.
being an influencer on your kids.
Mm-hmm.
That allows you to be healthier because, again, you have the ability to get medical care. You can pay the gym membership, or you can get a yoga class, and then you are more relaxed. You enjoy life. You can go to different parts of the world to experience.
Yeah.
So, what does it take to get a college degree, Omar? What are the tips that you would say that students need to follow to be successful?
Many, of course, but the bigger one, there's this misconception that school is for those who are, the brainiacs, those who are 4.0 in high school, and that's definitely not the case. Wasn't even the case with me. I was never a 4.0 student at the high school level, nor at the college level with myself. But I was a very applied student. I did what I had to do, and I took care of business. Like I said, maybe I wasn't the kid who was always striving to be the best in the class, but it was always making sure that I took care of business and really turned in my was very consistent, I guess, with my habits, educationally speaking. So I think it's really consistency is a big one. Someone who is consistent, someone who is determined, and like you said earlier, education opens doors to learning new skills such as time management. And I think in my case, that was definitely the case. As I moved through community college onto a university, I had to learn to navigate various, tasks. I worked, I had school. I was an athlete too, so I played on the school team. So I had to plan, and I had to navigate, like I said, many tasks, and I got good at it. So
Yeah.
I would say, of course, consistency, determination are key. What about you? What do you think?
I think I agree with you that, like, yes, to mention at the beginning of your college experience, like, I feel that as advisor, I observed that a lot of students struggle to manage that first year or the first semester because remember, you guys are coming from the high school. It's very structured for you. You are given what you have to do. And in college, you are an adult. So you have to, like Omar said, you have to organize yourself.
Yeah.
You have to be attending classes and taking notes. In my case, it was my determination to get help. Like, as you guys remember from the last session, I actually started learning English more in college. So for me, every time that I had to do a writing piece, a report, or an essay, I had to go with a tutor. So
Yeah.
for me, getting the support with tutoring allowed me to continue improving my grades and also being ready for class. And and in my case, in Mexico, I used to have a straight A's in la prepa, and then when we came to here and started going to high school, it was not the case. But I have been always passionate about learning, and I actually graduated with a great GPA here at AWC and also the university. My master's degree, I think it was 4.0. So I
Nice.
got straight A's.
That's
But
awesome.
I mean, it's possible to be successful in college. You need to have the personal commitment.
Correct.
And I feel that we have to see, you have to see that benefit. Like for me, coming to college was a way of showing my parents that they should be proud of me, that their sacrifice was worth it because we
Yeah.
moved from Michoacan to San Luis, Arizona, and we left all our family there. And also
That was a big
me,
sacrifice.
what was that?
That was a big sacrifice.
Yes, and for me, it was very important to inspire my brothers. I have two brothers and three sisters. So I said, I have to finish my college degree to tell them that they have to finish it. Like, well, they have to finish. And I'm so happy to say that from my five siblings, four of them finished AWC, and one of my brothers went to ASU, and he has his bachelor's degree also. So
That
you
is,
see, you influence, and just knowing that you are able to take the opportunity here at Arizona Western College.
yeah,
It's your community. There is financial aid. I mean, that we would be mentioning later in our segments,
that's our
right?
next segment actually on financial aid. But yeah, there's so many opportunities like you mentioned. But I do want to mention too, we do get a lot of students who come in to learn English, at an older age, like you said, when you got here. I fully admire, anyone taking on that role, and I see the benefits. I've seen them, students who come to the US, some even graduated in a university in Mexico. It's happened too.
Yeah.
We see it all the time where they graduate at AWC or US or any other, school in Mexico, and they come out here, they learn the language, and they want to go, of course, pursue a job in that field that they studied in Mexico. Full respect to them. I know it's a tough task to, some of them have families already, they have their own, homes, and they're taking care of many, many things.
Yes.
And for them to take time and make time to learn English and really, it's really a big sacrifice. And I really do respect that. I tell them all the time, I tell students who come in to learn, English, I tell them, face to face, and I'm like, I admire you for what you're doing. You're gonna do great. This is what we need. This is the attitude that we need. So to
And
be successful in college, that's the type of attitude we're looking for.
the positive attitude, and just your then what you are sharing reminds me of adults. We have adults,
Right.
like older adults, that
Yeah,
come
yeah.
back to school, and I think that part of the success of people, like, they are mature, they see that connection of the purpose of, I'm coming to college because I want to have a better life for my kids. I'm
Right.
coming to college because my husband doesn't have a job. We need to make sure that we get to college. And I see couples where the husband comes first, and then once he graduates, then the wife comes.
Correct.
So, that collaboration. And another tip that I would like to give is get to know your instructors, right? Getting to know your instructors allows you to get the support. You can also ask them, oh, I'm really having a lot of struggle with this class. What study skills do you recommend me to use for it, especially like biology or calculus classes? And thinking back on my college experience, for me, it was very essential to join student clubs.
Yeah.
Like, I used to be the club president for the uh, pronunciation club or public speaking club, or conversation club. I don't even remember the name. And then I became the president for the Rotaract. I think that just being into a member of those student organizations allowed me to make a connection with the college, and also with people, students in the community. So,
And the
and
data supports that, Maria. You know that when you are more involved in college clubs or any other type of activities, organizations, you're more adept to actually graduating. And the data, the numbers show that too. So
yes.
clear picture of that with yourself. How did you enjoy those when you?
Oh, really? I love them, and I think it gives you a different perspective. Like, I recall when I was participating in community meetings, when we were organizing some huelgas.
That's
Stuff.
nice.
Yeah. And at the end, when I that led me to meet a lot of community leaders in our area. And when I was looking for a job, I actually had 3 offers at the same
Oh,
time,
nice.
and it was because of the connections that I have with people in the community. And those connections happened because I volunteer in different events, and then I got to meet them, and then later they knew that I was reliable, so they invite me to other activities. And that's what I tell students: join a community club, a college club. We have Rotora, we have the community club in San Luis, we
Correct.
have the Arts and Curiosity, and
Conversation.
informatics,
Conversation. We have
conversation club.
a gamers
So
field. We have a gamers club as well in San Luis.
yes,
Very
And I'm recruiting for Rotora, okay? So you guys
proud.
should, should
If you're
contact
watching,
me.
if you're watching, there you go. Contact Maria.
Yes, yes. So anything else that you feel that help you be successful in college, Omar?
Well, a lot of what we've mentioned, I think, but
Mhm.
let me not forget to mention some of the programs that we do have at
Okay.
AWC, and that's of course camp.
Oh, that's
I think
true.
we haven't mentioned Keys as well. The Yes program with NEU, that's a big opportunity for students, along with the UMA Promise. So we've really built a good array of programs for students to go for to really just help you be successful in college. And these are great options right there. Camp Keys, Yes program, the UMA Promise. If you guys are interested in any of these, feel free to reach out to Maria or myself, and we'd be happy to furnish a little bit more details about each. But these are all programs that are technically designed to get you to be successful in college, and they're awesome. Camp, for example, the migrant program club will actually offer tutoring
Mhm.
specifically to the club members. You have to live in the dorms, but keeping track of your grades and just making sure that things are going well for you. Same thing as Keys. They do something very similar. The Yes program also sets certain standards per
Mhm.
semester as you go in an effort to get you to graduate soon, of course, and transfer out to NEU. And then the UMO Promise, which is really just tuition reimbursement. It's such a great opportunity, along with other educational and educational support, I would say. So great programs, great options for our students.
I was in the CASE program when I was attending AWC, and they do help you with tutoring. They have workshops.
Yep.
They take you to university trips, and it's very helpful because they are making sure that you are finishing your classes correct, like successfully, and the same for camp. So yes, please take advantage of those programs.
Definitely, yeah, they're great options. Like I said, you can always talk to us both about some of these options. Some of these, of course, are at the UMA campus where you'll have to go out there and then talk to someone over there. But we're always a great um, channel of communication when it comes to getting you there. So we're always open to helping. Anything else, Maria, that you want to talk about regarding the importance of higher ed and success in college?
Mm, I think that just to reiterate what we mentioned is just valuing the importance of having a degree,
Correct.
like the impact that's going to have in your life, intellectually, personally, and financially, and talk to people about it.
Right.
You can observe people with a college degree and people who doesn't have a college degree, and how they have their lives different. I mean, if you have opportunity to come to Arizona Western College, and we have the universities here that offer a bachelor's degree, maximize the opportunity.
Yeah.
And I think it is important to highlight that right now the working age, or that age to retire, is 65.
Yeah.
Standard age. So if when I talk to students, I tell them you are 17 years old. So how many more years do you have to be working to be 65? And I think it's 40 something, 42 or something like that. And I said, because many of them say, I want something quick, something that pays good money. And I said, well, that doesn't really exist. You have to invest time for 6 years, right? Depending what you want to do, and compare those 4 6 years to the 42 years that you're going to be working. It's only like 15% of your working life that you have to invest in your education.
Yeah.
So in reality, they shouldn't compare it to their age, because if you say I'm 18 and I'm going to invest 5 years, so that's kind of 1/4 of your life. So no, that's not what you should be comparing
No,
it.
there, there.
You are comparing it to the 42 years that you have to work, and it's going to take only like 4 years or 5 years to finish your college degree,
Right.
and you are going to be making like a lot of more money if you just stay with a high school diploma.
Usually, yes. Usually,
Yes.
that definitely is the case. I guess
Mhm.
my final take too is education really promotes lifelong learning, and
Mhm.
I've seen it in our cases, Maria. We're always willing to learn new things, and our attitude towards learning, towards taking on tasks that we don't know about, It's the type of attitude that education will foster. You know,
Yeah.
that mentality where you say, hey, show me. I want to be able to do this. I want to learn how to do this. And it translates into other areas of life, not just educational. You know, I've been like I think I mentioned it before in some of our meetings. I've been trying to become a handyman, you know, around my
Yes.
house. And like I said, it translates into other areas of your life. You know, I want to learn how to be a handyman. I want to learn how to do these tasks.
Yes.
I don't know how to do. You know, I'm still learning. So again,
I'm
lifelong
still,
learning is about.
yeah, I want to share with you. I'm taking the health and wellness class because my goal is to continue learning about health because
Right.
now I understand the importance of knowing the information, you know?
Yes, exactly.
Uh,
Yeah, we're always taking classes here and there.
yeah.
Our health and wellness. I've been taking a few classes myself. It's like I said, we appreciate knowledge and we appreciate the fact that we can continue learning. Not because you have a bachelor's, an associate's, a master's, a doctorate, it doesn't mean you're done. You know, we
Exactly.
value education for what it is and what it can give us. So we pursue it actively.
Yeah.
All right, Maria. I think we've talked about these topics now, or I think we're good to go, right?
Yes, thank you for yes, remember education allows you to reach your potential, do networking, get a stable job, a health insurance, and you just have to say, yes, I'm committed to do it, and we are here to support you.
Always, always, always here to help. All right, so we'll call it a day for segment number two. Maria, we'll be posting this later actually. And thank you, everyone, all the viewers. Segment three, we'll be talking about financial aid, and segment three will be in Spanish actually. So a FAFSA episode, it will be fully in Spanish. We're gonna have a few special guests for you, some financial aid gurus at AWC, and hopefully get you some good information out there. All right.
Thank you. See
Thank
you.
you. Have
Bye.
a good one, Dia.
You too.
Bye bye.
Bye.